What's going on, Jeromes? Happy Saturday. It's time for a little bit of Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions on our community tab. And we're going to get better this upcoming month, doing a lot of draft questions, cranking out a lot more Q&A videos. With all the pro days this week, sort of got behind, so that's our bad. But don't worry. Keep firing, man. So first up, Meat Sauce. Will you be doing a live stream during the draft this year again? Love to see your live reactions to not just the Vikings, but other teams as well. Maybe. I think it's complicated because the Vikings have that ability to trade up, as well as they have 2 first-round picks. Now, last year we did the live stream up until the Vikings took Jordan Addison in 23, so we got a good chunk in. But I mean, the Vikings could trade up to 3 and then just be done. Although I guess it would be fun having the live reaction of the Vikings drafting that quarterback. We'll see. Either way, since the Vikings don't have a pick on day 2, I could definitely see us live streaming that entire Friday night, maybe having a beverage too. Who knows? Who knows? But either way, we will certainly work something out. Next up, Kim Janiszewski. Nailed it. Has everyone forgotten we still have Jaren Hall? Can't really call him a bust yet, can you? Well, first off, I mean, so what is the level when you call a player a bust? I feel like he has to be a first-round pick. And, Jaren Hall, a 5th-round pick, obviously not. But the Mormon Missile, I still believe, man. Now, people poo-poo him because he looked like a rookie at times when he had to play last year. And, frankly, Kevin O'Connell didn't do him any favors in the first half of the Packers game. The play calling was inert, as well as, Jaren Hall didn't deliver on that one shot where it's like, hey, you got that deep post. This is your spot, man. And yes, you have to take advantage of when you get opportunities because, especially when you're a 5th-round rookie, you don't really get a ton of them. But then he threw a duck. It's unfortunate. But, I mean, that second drive against Atlanta really sticks out in my mind. The placement was great. He was throwing with confidence. He probably shouldn't have ran that one. Although I had Jaren Hall as the first touchdown scorer at like plus 1,400. So it's just like, entertainment purposes only. But with Jaren Hall, I think his ceiling is probably like a long-term backup, and that's perfectly fine. I think that if you can find a long-term QB2, a guy that can back up your guy for 5-7 years, I think that's huge value for a 5th-round pick. But I'm not giving up on him. And even though the Vikings will be bringing in their quarterback in the future in all likelihood, and the Vikings did sign Sam Darnold, and they still have Nick Mullins, who operated the offense relatively well last year, I ain't ready to give up. Plus, it behooves you to have 4 quarterbacks on the rooster in a combination of 53 and the practice squad. And also, this year, the 3rd emergency quarterback can come from the practice squad. So I think that it's a spot where the Vikings will have Darnold and rookie TBD on the 53, and then Mullins and Hall on the practice squad, and rotating them in as the QB3. Also, I need to use my favorite meme. Like, it can't just die. It can't just go away. Something that is very live is Dylan Loeb, the pride of New Hampshire. That's right, go Wildcats. Nicholas Edwards, Skull from New Hampshire. What's up? Love the channel and love your work. What's the realistic expectation for Dylan Loeb in the NFL? Also, always want your culinary thoughts and opinions. Hey, thank you. We should bring back the hot dish. We really should. Takes a lot of work. It's a little bit putsy, but I kind of want to get back after it. I know that people do tend to enjoy it. But Dylan Loeb is one of my favorite running backs in this class. Now, his success is really dependent on where he lands. Because is he going to be a bell cow running back in the league? No, absolutely not. But what he can be is a part of a committee that's a lot of fun. And I think that he really tracks well to like a slightly less physically gifted Jerick McKinnon. And, the way that... So the Vikings misuse Jerick McKinnon. I mean, let's just be honest there. But the way that Kansas City has used Jerick McKinnon as both a running back 3 as well as a dynamic receiver out of the backfield, that's exactly what Dylan Loeb needs to be. Plus, he is a great punt and kick returner. Plus, I think that if a very creative play caller gets him in and he's in the slot or he's outside and really just is a complete joker on offense, that's what he needs to be. And I really, really like Dylan Loeb. I think that he's going to be fantastic in this league if he ends up in the right spot. And frankly, even though the Vikings with Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler, like they definitely could use that power running back. If they put in Loeb, I wouldn't be mad. necessarily. Next up, Alex Weitzel. If the Vikings trade up to number 3 in the draft, how much capital do you think the Vikings have to give up to get there? So I think the baseline right meow is 11-23 and the 2025 first. Now, ideally, wouldn't have to give that up, but if that's the sticking point, and if that's what it takes to box out the Giants at 6 or the Broncos at 12 or even the Raiders at 13, right? Now, ideally, I would like to do a suite of, hey, future third rounder as well as a 4th and a 5th this year in place of that first. But I mean, sometimes that dog ain't gonna hunt. And if you're gonna be all in, let's be all in. So there you go. Next. Steve Zimmerman, realistic or not, I hope Darnold plays well enough to keep the rookie quarterback on the bench for a while. And Kevin McConnell is very much a process guy, and I think that they want to have that rookie quarterback sit for a year. The Mahomes track where the Chiefs traded up for Mahomes and he sat for a year behind Alex Smith. And for all the reasons why the Vikings are a great landing spot for a rookie quarterback with Jefferson and Addison and Hockenson and Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown and the running game and Darrison O'Neal and the defense, blah, blah, blah. It's exactly why it's good for Sam Darnold. Now, if the Vikings get their interior offensive line, I'm rewatching Boardwalk Empire, by the way. You wouldn't believe how much. Anyways, it's worse than Game of Thrones. But the whole thing about it is that Darnold, for all the reasons why the rookie quarterback can succeed, if they get that interior offensive line good to go, like Sam Darnold can pan out. Plus, he's only 26. He's only 26, man. He's like 2 minutes older than Jaron Hall. It's crazy. Last one. Oh, and it would be the best case scenario where whatever quarterback the Vikings end up with, whether it's McCarthy or Daniels or Penix or May, I think they would benefit from a season from acclimating to the pro game, cleaning up some mechanics and fundamentals, and just going from there. And just sitting and watching and learning, Josh McCown in their ear the entire game. It'd be great, man. It'd be great. Lastly, my name is Juf, best pho in the Twin Cities. So my preferences are very much South Metro centric, since I'm south of the River Cat, but I'm sure that there are some really good ones more downtown as well as northern burbs, certainly. So first one is Pho 79. Love their location on the east side. So I think they're fantastic. Pho Tao Bay is very good as well. It's sort of in like the Dinkytown adjacent area, and it's so Pho Tao Bay. We talked about this before. I love taking the wife to Asian places where she's the only gringa, where she's the only white person, because if Asian people go there, and especially if Asian people are there with their family, like, it's a good place. Because we went to Shanghai Artisan Noodle. I think that's what it's called, in Las Vegas in Chinatown. They have a location in the Durango Casino now too. It's fantastic. It is so, like, they make the noodles in front of you, they shave it off and stuff, and it was all Asians and Asian families. So if Asians bring their kids and like their olds to that place, it's good. Simply Pho is fantastic. Cameron Bay is probably my favorite place. They're in Burnsville, and they now have a carryout location in Eagan. And the whole thing about pho, so I feel like the baseline for pho is always really good, but it's always about the broth. And same thing with ramen too, where, especially pho broth, where if it's done right, and if someone who's been doing this for 15, 20 years, and it simmers for 24 hours plus, and you got the oxtails, you got all your spices, you got that sheen of layer of fat on top, it's just, it brings your soul back to life. And I will stand on business and say that there is no better cold or sickness remedy than a great bowl of pho, as well as hangovers too. And so if you take a bowl of pho and then you put in a lot of jalapenos, and if you put in a lot of your hot sauce of choice, it'll make you feel great. Make you feel good. Also, IFA, they have a bunch of locations around. They're fantastic. I Walk in Savage area is really great too. And then going down the rabbit hole of spring rolls. We could do a whole show on that, because I'm a spring roll slut. Also, if you like egg rolls, and if your girl likes egg rolls, get Vietnamese egg rolls. Huge. Absolutely fantastic, man. But yeah, that's my rundown. And the whole thing is too, I feel like the fancier the place, the worse the pho is. Like, you want a spot that is mom and pop, family owned. The kid is doing the homework in an adjacent booth. If you go to the bathroom, that's also doubles as a supply closet. They don't have a headset, but the lady taking orders, who's also cooking, by the way, has a headband that has the iPhone hooked up right there. It's great. It's great, man. And also, if you dine in restaurant, the chairs are always a little bit like off, right? And maybe the tables don't match, and the decor is old and faded. That's what you want. That's what you need. That's how you know it's gonna be good. Anyways, that's all. But that's it. Q&A for this beautiful Saturday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.